Hi there, I'm Nohelani Graff with your most accurate forecast. Pool weather might be in order today while we are hanging on to the 80s. We'll be in the upper 80s, coming close to 90 today. The good news is that our air quality is in the moderate range. Our pollen count has improved a little bit. It's now in the medium range after all of those breezes really picked it up to end last week. That UV index, though, is still very high, so just a 15-minute burn time. Make sure you're reapplying the sunscreen during those peak UV hours of the day. They follow the peak heat of the day, and also if you're in and out of the water. So here's what that warm-up looks like this afternoon. We'll be in the 70s valley-wide by 10 this morning. We're going to hit the 80s a little bit earlier. By noon, we're at 81, and then we're peaking today right around 3 or 4 o'clock. But we'll trend down pretty nicely so that we're in the low 80s shortly after sunset this evening. Across the valley today, upper 80s. We might hit 90 in areas like Gilbert, Chandler, and Maricopa, but looking to peak at 89 in Ahwatukee and Goodyear, as well as Tempe. 87 for Apache Junction and Fountain Hills. 85 is that forecast high for Anthem today. If you're headed out to the Sens game at Footprint Center downtown tonight, tip-off is at 5 o'clock this evening. So if you're going early, maybe having a late lunch, it's going to be toasty. That's when we'll be in our peak heat in the upper 80s. But if you step out at halftime, we'll start trending into the low 80s, and by the time you head home in the evening, we'll be in the low 80s as well. So maybe you want to do dinner plans after the game. It would be nice to sit outside. Across the rest of the state today, more 80s to our south, 82 in Globe, 90 in Safford and Tucson, but 80s out to our west, mid to upper 80s from Yuma on up through the lower Colorado River Valley. Really nice temperatures for central Arizona in the low to mid 70s, 75 in Sedona. North of the rim, we're largely going to be in the 60s right along the rim, but Show Low will make it into the 70s today. It's also going to be the most breezy out to our east with winds around 20 miles an hour, gusts up to 30, even 35 miles an hour. Just a little lighter across northern Arizona with those breezes around 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow they get a little stronger statewide, including here in the valley. We'll see those winds closer to 10 to 15 miles an hour in the middle of the day. Low pressure system staying far enough away that we'll have some time to warm up as we head into that new work week, but then the next storm system will help drop our temperatures. So while we start the new work week in the 90s, we'll dip back into the 80s midweek before another climb into the 90s to end the week with a slight chance for rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Flagstaff.